So as we continue in lesson 78 and part 2, in the last section on true or false, we talked about the concept is this golf like sitting on a bar stool or on a shooting stick? And the answer was no, it's false. The body angle changes. And we looked at Hogan's picture on page 54 showing a guy sitting on a shooting stick. Okay, so if that was true, then every swing would be in the same plane or in the same groove. So, true or false, is the golf swing a groove? Well, I don't think it is, and I think it's a mistake to think that it is. If all your clubs are the same length, say all 6-iron length, like Bryson DeChambeau at the moment, but Bryson doesn't do it with the woods, that's a surprise. But if all your clubs were sort of 6-iron length, then that would make that part of the game in a groove, but still very different, 6 or 7 degrees difference on the swing plane if you then go to the driver. And I believe that Bryson still goes down the handle a bit on his wedges, so the clubs may all be the same length in the irons, but I think he adapts a little bit. 40 years ago, the company Tiger Shark made clubs all the same length and increased the mass weight. Well, that's fine for a robot, but a human being needs a long shaft to get the forearms to be speedy. And that's why a wedge is accurate, because the forearms are slow. When you have a long club, the forearms are quicker. So an athlete like Bryson DeChambeau can make his clubs work all at 6-iron length with the irons. He can't do it with the driver because the laws of ballistics and physics and biomechanics prevent him, but he can make it work in the irons. But in my experience, when people have tried to hit 4 and 3 irons, even 5 irons that are shorter than standard, they struggle to get the normal distance and carry. But an athlete like Bryson DeChambeau certainly can. All right, let's have a look at that. Going with the 6-iron, when we put the club on the floor, we know the height of our hands, too low, too high. We know our distance from the ball, too far away or too near. But the big thing that the club maker shows you is when you offer the club on its bottom correctly and tip from the hip to build the grip, at that point you're discerning your swing plane. So just watch that. There's the club behind the ball. The club is on its bottom properly. And I tip from the hip. So this is me normal. This would be sort of driver, 3 wood, 5 wood, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is 6-arm posture and take my stance. So the beauty is, if we've got 13 long clubs, we can't say the swing is a groove or a constant because you have to learn 13 grooves, 1 for every club. And then it's half shots, so that's 26 grooves, and then 3/4 shots, 39, and so on. What we have to appreciate is that there is a constant movement. The shoulder turns with every club. The left shoulder goes to your throat. If the left shoulder goes to your throat with your posture here, you're great for beating carpets and playing baseball and knocking a tree down with an axe. Okay, you can see this is my best shoulder plane under my throat. That's flat, that's upright. So in the horizontal mode, axe swing mode, you can see my best swing plane. Axe, driver, 6-iron and wedge. So it's not a groove. I often hear young lads say, I'm going to groove my swing loose. I go, that's a shame, because if you groove your swing for, say, a driver, that's not going to suit a wedge. Or conversely, if you groove your swing in 8-iron plane, then that's not going to work for driver. We have to appreciate that the angle of the spine changes every club. That is what changes the angle of the swing plane and also the length of the swing. Because when you have a short club with a wedge, I can only turn to there. With the 6-iron posture, I get further, and with driver posture I get further still. Again, you don't be thinking about that, but your posture and the length of club has created it. So let's just go to the driver and hit your demonstration shot. Offer the club. I know my height, know my distance. Tip from the hip to build the grip. It's not very far to lean with the driver, is it? And then I plant my feet. So now you can see that I can load the shoulder under my throat. There's my swing plane, axe, back to driver, and off we go. I caught the ball with a bit of fade there. You've got to forgive me, first shot on a Monday morning, but you can see the point. Load the shoulder under the throat, hit the shot. Let's now demonstrate that with the 6-iron. Same procedure. I'm a little bit close to the ball now. I step in, offer the club. I tip from the hip to build a grip. You see that? I've gone through driver, through 3 wood, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6-iron posture. Now I take my stance. Okay, load the shoulder under my throat. It's a more upright, shorter swing. However I stand up, you'll see I'm still good to go with the axe. There's the axe swing, through driver down to 6 iron. I'm in 6 iron posture, off I go. That was a bit better, wasn't it? I woke up, my right hand released the shot, didn't get the fade. So, shortest club in the bag is my lob wedge, 60 degrees. Shortest club in the bag, about the same length as the putter, perhaps an inch longer. So I'm close when I start. I tip from the hip to build the grip, shoulders above the hands and plant the feet. Now you'll see the shoulder turn to the throat. You see, it's upright. It's a short backswing. Stand up, however, you see, still the same motion, isn't it? So it's not a groove, it's a constant understanding of the shoulder coil, but the angle changing. So here we go with the lob wedge. Load, check that I'm in plane. I'm not flat, I'm not upright, I'm in plane. It's a movement, it's not a position. Okay, load, stand up, in plane. Back we go, there's the posture, steepest, shortest backswing, and release. So you can see, can't you? You've got 13 clubs in the bag, plus a putter. But in the 13 long clubs, the shoulder to the throat is the key movement, and the angle of the swing plane varies according to the length of the club. So, true or false, is the swing a groove? It's a falsehood. It can't be, unless of course your clubs are all the same length.